Hey guys, and welcome back. I hope everyone is doing alright today. As you can see, it's a bit of a different backdrop what I normally would see in a transfer news video. The reason for that being is because I'm still down in London at the minute. So yesterday I went across to Tottenham's training ground. I've been going in there, I've been telling them you aren't getting James Maddison, it's not happening at all. But honestly though, I've just been having a bit of free time to myself, of course, with the fact that Newcastle, we're going back into pre-season in the next couple of weeks or so. I just want to enjoy some free time while I still can, so I've enjoyed it. This is the Grand Union Canal, if anyone's got any good London geography. It doesn't look great, the water's green down there, so it's not looking too great. But honestly, my time down London's been fantastic. It's currently 28 degrees, I'm absolutely roasting here. But anyway, back on topic though, welcome back to the channel guys. I hope everyone is doing okay. If you're new around here and you like what you're watching, make sure you get down there, hit that subscribe button, smash the like button as well you enjoy. In today's transfer news video, we've got our bits of information as well. Newcastle had an additional pre-season match where it's been crazy. I'll tell you the full story behind that, but it's been mental this morning. Also, we got transfer news regarding some young stars. We have our first official sign that was made 2 days ago. We've got all sorts of information to get into. Joelinton was unfortunately racially abused as well, so we've got to get through that. Plenty to talk about. Without further ado, let's get straight into it. I've had a nightmare this morning. Starting off, let's talk about Newcastle United's first pre-season match. It's been confirmed it's going to be Gateshead away. I can't wait for the overnight stay vlog, by the way. It's a long way to go to Gateshead. Funny enough, actually, the first time I ever went to a Newcastle United away game was the Gateshead pre-season back in 2014. Patrick Cisse scored the only goal in the game. Adam Armstrong and Sissoko missed an open goal. It was an absolute terrible performance from us. And I was going full circle. We're going back there in our first game of what's going to be the Champions League season. It's an incredible time, but it's been an absolute nightmare this morning. Why is that? So if you haven't already know, on Gateshead's website you have to buy the tickets off there. Now normally in a Newcastle game you go on our website and you buy the tickets, but in this case, for whatever reason, Newcastle have allowed Gateshead to sell the entire allocation of the stadium. So for away tickets you have to go into their website. It crashed. It kept crashing. There's that many people trying to go on the website, it just can't handle it. It quite simply just doesn't function at all. So at first you couldn't load the tab up at all, so it's just a blank screen. Then eventually when the tickets came out, I went onto the website and there was no Newcastle tickets. So it was the Sunderland tickets, the Harrogate Town tickets, was there's no Newcastle tickets. So honestly, it went on for a good hour. I had to go back on. Then eventually it works for me. I managed to go on there and buy the 4 tickets so we mates can go as well. And afterwards, the website crashed again. So I'm quite literally one of the only people at the time recording this video actually being able to get tickets because of the fact it just keeps crashing and crashing and crashing. It's a nightmare. It's not great at all. Now, I know people are being a bit critical towards Gateshead, but they are a non-league team. Do have to get that part right. A lot of people on holiday at the minute. Ultimately, it's a team that's in the 5th tier of English football. I know they probably should have done the better job. I mean, the website should work, but it's unfortunately a case where you got thousands, if not tens of thousands of Newcastle fans trying to buy tickets, and how high the support is now, where it's unfortunately just been a bit of a nightmare getting tickets. So yeah, I thought I'd come out now and talk about that, because it's just, I think it is a good thing, even though the tickets don't work, because it just shows the interest in this club, how many people are interested. I mean, you can still go on and buy Sunderland tickets. I mean, nobody even cares about them, but Newcastle are selling out straight away. The website's crashed multiple times, the tab's only been loading. What is going on? Well, thankfully I've got my tickets so I can actually get this video done now, but oh my god, that stressed me out. Now, before we actually get into the transfer side of this video, I just wanted to come out and talk about Joelinton first, because I'm extremely disappointed to see this come up on social media yet again. Doesn't matter what football team it is, it's always a case where players get racially abused. Any form of life, it's not acceptable at all. You wouldn't do this in real life, so why do you do it online? So Joelinton actually spoke out. Of course, he just got called up with Brazil for the first time in his career. If you watch the training videos of him, by the way, he actually looks class for him. He doesn't look out of place at all. So he's came out in the press conference, he's been telling the media about how he was actually racially abused after the Arsenal game last season, so the one at home where we lost 2-0. And it's a bit weird as well, because like, why would Arsenal fans, I mean, you wouldn't racially abuse someone anyway, but why would you do it after winning 2-0? I don't understand it at all. I mean, what goes through some people's minds to go and try and target players and just send them horrible messages and to try and get a reaction out of them? It's ridiculous, and I think the thing with social media as well is that it's far too easy to do. All it takes is for you watching this video to go out there, make a fake account under a fake email, no address, nothing attached to it, and you can just do whatever you want, and there's no repercussions for it, because they're not going to track you down. So it's a case that people just think they're clever, people just think it's way too easy, and it's not good enough at all. I think we need to cut down it more in social media as a whole. It's something that's going to keep popping up. It's not an instance where it's happened to Joelinton here, it's not going to happen again. It's got to keep happening. It's happened to so many different footballers. There's nothing's going to change soon, and it's sad. It's 2023 and it's still, racial abuse is still so bad. Not even just in the UK online, it's bad in natural places, in person. It's mental. It's not good enough at all. I'm extremely sorry here for Joelinton. I just want to come out and talk about it because I think we need to cut down it more on social media. I think it's far too easy to do, and I'm extremely disappointed that it's happened yet again. And I thought I would talk about it in this case since it's one of our players. But obviously everyone's with Joelinton, and hopefully we'll stop this for good. But unfortunately, it's still a long way to go before that. It's done, it's dusted, and Newcastle United's first brand new signing going into the Champions League season is Yankuba Minteh, who has actually been loaned out straight away to Feyenoord for this season. So this is exactly the same as Grand Cure in the sense that we're going to be getting these players in when they're extremely young, got all the potential in the world. We're going to loan them out for a few seasons. When the time is right, we'll either put them into our squad, or if we don't think they're good enough, we'll sell them on for some money. And that's the mode and the mindset Newcastle seem to have, and I'm expecting us to do this on a seasonal basis. Eddie Howe, Dan Ashford, the ownership clearly likes this system where we put players out on loan, we'd let them adjust, and we'd get them straight in that first team when they're ready to go. And I do like it a lot. I've always said that I think Newcastle's academy and upcoming players we just lacked it. I think homegrown talent is where we have to improve on that. We need to get the best out of our community. The North East as a whole, we need to get the best out of it. Other than Eddie Anderson and Longstaff, nothing's really came out of our academy over the last few years. I know Miley's starting to come up now, but I'm not going to class him just yet. But I think it's a case where we just need to do more. I think we need to do more. I think academy still needs to be improved on, and we will do that. That's the main thing now. We are going to get it done. And as for these signs, we're going to put them out on loan. Grand Cure has to go to a better loan club. Didn't work at all hard. So hopefully at Feyenoord for Yankuba Minteh, this one does work. So we do have to be careful where we loan the players out. We can't just put them wherever we want, because we've seen it in Cure's case. He barely played it. It just didn't do him any good at all. So it has to be the correct move for the players, but hopefully we'll get that done. Now on to James Maddison, because yet again there's been more links and more drama surrounding him, I could say. Now for me, he's definitely teasing the move. So I'll show you this now. So of course he's in the international team of England. He's actually showing off pictures on his Instagram story playing pool with Callum Wilson. Now you might be thinking, okay, he's playing pool with a player, who cares? But again, you got to think the player's mindset. He definitely is aware of the links, and I don't think it's a coincidence at all that he's posting the pictures of Callum Wilson. I don't think it means anything, to be brutally honest, but I do definitely think it's a case where the player is just teasing the fans. He knows everything going on with Newcastle. We said it a couple of days ago, he wants to make the move to Newcastle. I mean, if you want to, I guess you want to nitpick and you want to try and drag things out there, you can go, this may be a good step in the right direction for Newcastle, because Callum Wilson himself posted a tweet on, and you just think, maybe it's a little bit more to it. But for me though, I mean, I don't think there's much in it, to be honest, but I thought I'd talk about it anyway. I think the player is definitely teasing the fans. I think I definitely a sign that he's kind of giving a nod towards the Newcastle fans, but whether that actually means anything or not is another question. But I thought, again, we'll put it in the video there for clarity's sake. And finally, one more thing before we finish this video off, I want to talk about one fresh transfer link that has came out regarding this football club, and that being Felix Amichka, I think is how you pronounce it, the Wolfsburg attacking midfielder, the 22-year-old. Eddie Howe has him on his mind. Newcastle, it's been reported that we are preparing a bid for £15 million to bring in the attacking midfielder, and for me, it's somebody that is going to get into the team. It's not a case where with Minteh, where you bring him in, he's going to go on loan straight away. This is a player that is expected, if we sign him, he's going to get into the squad, and he will gradually over time potentially get into the starting 11 depending on how he plays. So this is one I want to keep an eye on. I think Newcastle are targeting these younger players. You see it last season with like a TK, and now thankfully we dodged the bullet him because he hasn't had a good year at all, PSG. But Newcastle are targeting some of these younger players. We want experience and we want talent. A bit of both is the best way of putting it. We want a balance in the team. Someone for me, I haven't watched much of him. He used to play for Manchester City, then he's went to Wolfsburg, but he's, as it's been with likes of Minteh being proclaimed a Messi, this guy's been proclaimed to be the next Zidane. So it's one of these ones where I think on social media, the expectations towards these players is far too high. We have to calm down with the expectations, but somebody with a lot of talent, somebody with a lot of potential, and I think for us, £15 million or so, if we can get it done, I think it's a pretty good deal, and I fancy us to be a good move for him as well. So we'll see what happens to this one. I don't know much about the player, to be honest. A bit the same situation as Minteh. I've never watched him play before, so I can't come out and pretend that I know everything about him, because I don't. but somebody that looks good, somebody that sounds good, somebody that the club is after. And we'll see what happens to this one, but I just thought we'll come out and we'll get that done. Now, I'll probably wrap up the video now because I am actually with someone today. I don't want to keep them waiting too long is the best way of putting it. So I do appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much. I wish you all the best. I'll be going back in Newcastle today, so I've enjoyed my time in London. It is roasting down here. I'm loving my time off, and next week I'll be properly back on it. But thank you guys for watching. Take care. Let me know your thoughts down below, and I will see you all in the next one.